Clear prop. Welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. We are in our Cessna 172. This is real-time weather. I backed it up to about 5 o'clock. And we are going to be flying from San Salvador, El Salvador to Tegucigalpa, Honduras. Toncontin Airport. Let's enter flight plan here. We'll go ahead and put in that we're going to be flying. Actually, I didn't even check that out. Let me go ahead and check that out real quick on Sky Vector here. This is our flight plan. We got thunderstorms in the area. This is our flight plan. About an hour and 16 minutes. World low calls for 10,000 feet. So we're going to go on a 10,000. Now the elevation there for the Toncontin International Airport is 3307. So 3,307 feet elevation. We are leaving an elevation of 2027. So let's go ahead and set up our flight plan real quick here. Number 2 right there. So we want to first of all go ahead and go to 10,000 right here. 10,000 it is, and then right arrow. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and use the keyboard there. Mike Sierra Sierra. Enter. Let's enter on that. None. We have no waypoints today, and our destination is Mike Hotel Tango Golf, and that is correct. Let's enter. None. Now we're going to go ahead and designate the feet in there. What was the feet again? Real quickly. The feet 3307. So 3307. Go ahead and go back in there. 3307. So we're going to go ahead and go 2, 3, 2, 3, 7. Let's enter, and then that will do that. Okay, so we are all set to go. We don't have any weather on the map here. We do have real-time weather, live weather. I'll take that off a minute. Get back on. Okay, so we do have the live weather, but we don't have any on our radar. We don't have any thunderstorms to be concerned about. All right, let's go ahead and turn on all our lights. And we'll contact, let me go ahead and get situated real quick. I always like to get situated just down just a little bit, see the nose. And we'll contact ground. And we're going to be departing to the east.
Ground Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie ready to taxi east departure.
Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie taxi 2 and hold short of runway tree via taxiway Alpha. Contact tower on 118 tree when ready.
So 33 is closer one, thank goodness, because it's a
taxi
long
2 and hold short runway tree via taxiway Alpha Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie.
Brake is off. Off we go. that's plenty of runway there for a Cessna to take off on. We'll go ahead and request it here.
Ilopango Tower Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie ready for east departure at runway Tree.
Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie altimeter 29.86 wind 026 at 4.
2986.
East departure approved. Cleared for
2986.
takeoff runway Tree.
Cleared for takeoff runway Tree Cessna 7 Charlie
Go
Charlie.
ahead and line up there. Okay, we are lined up on 3-3. I'm going to go ahead and synchronize our heading and go ahead and give it full power. I got full rich. And releasing the brakes, off we go. Airspeed is alive. We'll rotate it at about 55. And rotate. 7-degree pitch, about 7 degrees. Autopilot engaged. That's for our roll and pitch. Flight level change at about 75. Flight level change. And heading mode. And let me go ahead and arm the nav. Okay, the nav is already armed and loaded. And then so off to the east we go. Took off with no flaps. We got some mountains to climb over. So it might be a good idea to go flight level change to press angle of climb.
Ilopango Tower Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie continue for east departure.
And we are leaving Ilopango Airport in San Salvador. Heading straight to a volcano right now, but that's right in front of us. We are going to actually be turning to the left once we capture the GPS, which will be shortly. We've already captured it, but we're going to be changing our direction shortly according to the GPS. We are flying to Honduras. We'll talk about Honduras here in a minute. Honduras is actually a bigger country than El Salvador. Right now we are flying right next to that big crater lake here in San Salvador, which I'm thinking that this right here might have even been a bigger volcano at one time. If you look at it, there's hills all around it indicating that this indeed is a crater in and of itself. Backing off on the mixture a little bit, we are already at 3,000 feet, 3,300 feet. Some of the volcanoes there in the background. So many volcanoes around here. It's pretty amazing.
Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie, leaving my airspace frequency change approved.
Ilopango Tower Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie frequency change.
And we'll go ahead and contact flight following. Ilopango approach.
Ilopango approach Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie is type
I
Cessna
still have to
Skyhawk
turn
4
on
miles
my-
east
I
of
didn't turn on my
Ilopango
transponder
4,200 feet.
So now it's on.
Request flight following.
And then the transponder, the code 2366.
Squawk 2366. Cessna 7 Charlie, Charlie radar contact, 4 miles east of Ilopango, 4,500 feet. Altimeter 29.86.
Roger, Cessna 7 Charlie, Charlie.
6 it is. Again, this is real-time weather. I backed up time to 5 o'clock. Testing 1, 2, testing, testing. While we're climbing, I wanted to check out that what volcano that is right there. Looking at Google Maps, looking at the terrain right here. We got a volcano right here, and that would be that's not Chile. San Vincent. San Vincent volcano. See it behind the clouds now. It'll be that volcano right there behind the clouds. Anyway. Bing, what can you tell us about the San Vincent volcano in
searching for San Vincent volcano.
El Salvador?
There are two possible volcanoes that you might be referring to: La Soufriere in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, or San Vicente in El Salvador. La Soufriere is an active volcano that erupted twice.
Tell us about the one in El Salvador. You can see some mud flows right there.
Searching for San Vicente volcano,
San
El Salvador.
Vicente.
San Vicente volcano, also known as Chicanapec or Las Chiches, is a stratovolcano in central El Salvador. It is the second highest volcano in the country, with an elevation of 2,182 meters, 7,159 feet. It has two craters, one located in each summit, that resemble a woman's bosom. It is a dormant volcano that last erupted around 1,700 years ago. It is a popular hiking destination that offers scenic views of the surrounding landscape and hot springs.
Okay, and that's all the information on that one. And I'm wondering, we got 6,400. We still have a little bit to climb here, so we're going to go ahead and speed up our drone here and see if we can take a quick look at that volcano. And we'll go ahead and okay, well, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to speed up the drone, and I zoomed it. Okay, here anyway. Quickly. It's a little ways away. And it's covered in clouds today. We do have thunderstorms in the area. Although I didn't see any weather on my NextRad. Well, maybe I had my NextRad off. That could be. I thought it was on by default. So we are looking for this volcano here. They said that there are 2 craters. Check that out. It's got it's like a river going all the way up to the top. So this is the San Vicente volcano in El Salvador. Not really a whole lot of detail there, but it does have 2 hilltops there. Doesn't look like, I mean, that other volcano that we were looking at, there was a lot more trails. And so this one probably is not as visited as the other one is. Of course, there's no actual crater to look into, or at least it doesn't appear to be. So a couple of hills there. Okay, let's go ahead and return back to the plane here. At 76, we got about another 2,500. I did see an airplane up there somewhere. AAL 945. So let's go ahead and go back to our, we'll go to flight radar 24. What was that again? AAL 945. AAL 945. Not finding it. AAL 945. Okay. We will look at that on the map. Show on map. Boy, that's way out there. It's way on the other side there. But anyway, that's the one that Microsoft Flight Simulator is picking up. That is the 787 Dreamliner going from Dallas to Santiago, Chile. So that one still has another 6 hours of flying time. So that's going quite a ways there from Dallas to Santiago. We happen to be catching it right here. On its way to Santiago, 787. Another view there of, come on, of that volcano. Okay, we got 1,000 to go till we reach our assigned altitude. The Ilopango San Salvador approach is pretty quiet. Not a whole lot going on as far as traffic, air traffic, except for that one that's going to Santiago, Chile. Again, real-time weather, not real-time time. About 500 more feet, about another minute. 450 feet a minute is what we're climbing at. I got the mixture at about 50%. We have a 24 knot headwind at 104 degrees, 105. Okay, altitude select has been captured. Start leveling off now. I'm going to go ahead and synchronize the heading. Might as well on the current heading. Got a good 27 knot crosswind, kind of pushing us off to the side a little bit. And we'll keep the power to about 2,500 or so. 25, 20. Backing up just a little bit on the power.
Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie contact.
All right, we
Central
are
America
now
Center on 123.9er. Good day.
being handed off to Central America Center.
123.9er for Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie. Central America Center, Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie 10,000 feet.
Cessna November Charlie 77
29er
Charlie Charlie
87.
Central America Center altimeter 29er.87. Continue as planned.
And now what I want to do is I want to look at the weather there. We have 360 at 10, 360. So press enter right here. We do have an ATIS there, so cool. We do have an ATIS. So on this right here, what we want to do is we want to go ahead and put the ATIS number right here, 127750 to right here. And the way we do that is just highlight it and then press enter. And that puts in 127750 right there. We'll transfer that, make that active on our secondary radio, and we'll turn that on the monitor. We already have it.
Oscar 2300 Zulu. Wind calm. Visibility 5. Sky condition 1,900 feet, scattered ceiling 5,000 feet, overcast. Temperature 21. Dew point 10. Altimeter 30.06.
We'll set that when we get closer.
Visual runway 02 in use.
02.
Landing and departing runway 02. VFR
VFR.
aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back halt short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact you have Oscar.
We have Oscar. Okay, so we'll go ahead. We'll look at that again later. But so runway 2 is what we have. So what we want to do is we want to set procedure, select approach. We do have an RNAV, good. An RNAV for runway 2. And then we'll go ahead, and this is our RNAV. Let's see if we can't zoom in and out on that right now. The vectors, or we got Melville, or we got TNT. We'll go ahead and try a Melville. This is looking north, coming in from the east. We'll do Melville. And then we'll go ahead and now minimums. I don't know if there's information on that for I don't see minimums here. We're not going to worry about minimums. And we'll go ahead and load that. Boy, look at all these waypoints there. So we go to Melville, and then so our final approach fix is 6776. So I'm going to go ahead and select the altitude for 6700. 6776. I'm going to arm the vertical navigation. Vertical navigation is armed. So what we'll do is our final approach fix is 6776. And then we have all these waypoints here. Boy, I tell you, I wonder about why the final approach fix is 6776. And then we have all these step downs here. I wonder if it's because of the mountainous region. Boy, there's a lot of waypoints there. So I'm going to, I have a final approach fix at 6776, but I have some more of these, so I might have to just go ahead and step down the altitude myself. I'm not exactly sure how all that's going to work. You know what I'm going to do? Now, I'm not a pilot. This is entertainment here. So, but I'm going to go ahead and go to the lowest altitude there using a vertical navigation. So that is 3398. Let's go ahead and put in 34. So for that altitude, 3, 4. Now, would they do this in real life? Probably not. But we have our vertical navigation set up to go to 3400 using these waypoints here. So that is the plan of action. So our top of descent, we got another hour before our top of descent. So what we're going to do here is, wish we could take a look at that closer here. The flight plan. Go to Melville right there. We'll back that up a little bit. We're going to go to the runway and then go to Melville. I think that's the safest bet there. We're at 10,000 right here. Instead of doing a direct to Melville, we're going to go to the airport and then run to Melville and circle around and stage down. I'm thinking that it's all of this because of the elevation there, the terrain. Hopefully we have good weather when we get there so we can see. We'll see what happens. Bing, tell us about Honduras.
Searching for Honduras. Honduras is a country in Central America that borders Guatemala, El Salvador, Nicaragua, the Pacific Ocean, and the Caribbean Sea. It has a population of about 9.6 million people and a land area of 112,492 square kilometers, 43,433 square miles. Its capital and largest city is Tegucigalpa. The official language is Spanish and the currency is the lempira. Honduras has a rich and diverse cultural heritage that includes indigenous, European, African, and Caribbean influences. It is also home to several important Mesoamerican civilizations, such as the Maya. Honduras is a developing country that faces many economic and social challenges, such as poverty, inequality, violence, corruption, environmental degradation, and natural disasters. It is one of the poorest countries in Latin America and has one of the world's highest murder rates. Honduras is a republic with a presidential system of government. The current president is Xiomara Castro, who took office in January 2023 after winning the 2022 general elections. Honduras is a member of various regional and international organizations, such as the United Nations, the Organization of American States, the Central American Integration System, and the World Trade Organization.
Tell us about the capital of Honduras.
Searching for capital of Honduras. The capital of Honduras is Tegucigalpa, often called Tegus by locals. It was founded in 1578 as a mining town and became the permanent capital of Honduras in 1880. It is the largest city in Honduras, with a population of about 1.3 million people. It is also the seat of the national government, the National Congress, the Supreme Court, and other public institutions. Tegucigalpa is a cultural, educational, and economic hub, with various museums, universities, industries, and services. It is also known for its colonial architecture, historical monuments, and natural attractions. Tegucigalpa forms a central district with its sister city, Comiguela, which is located across the Choluteca River. The two cities are jointly administered by a municipal corporation and a mayor.
Tell us a little more about the river. And that's not the river we're looking at. That would be the
Searching
river
for Choluteca River.
the river there by Tegucigalpa.
The Choluteca River is a river in southern Honduras that flows from the department of Francisco Morazan, near Lepidarique, to the Gulf of Fonseca on the Pacific Ocean. It passes through the cities of Tegucigalpa and Choluteca, among others. It is 349 kilometers, 217 miles, long and has a basin area of 7,848 square kilometers, 3,030 square miles. The Choluteca River is an important source of water supply for Tegucigalpa and other areas in the basin, but it also suffers from water pollution from industrial and domestic wastewater. The river also poses a flood risk during the rainy season, especially when hurricanes or tropical storms hit the region. The Choluteca River Basin is home to various ecosystems and biodiversity, such as mangroves, wetlands, forests, and wildlife. It also supports various economic activities, such as agriculture, fishing, mining, tourism, and hydroelectricity.
Okay, what I want to do real quick is look at Google Maps right here. Take a look at what we're looking at right there with this river. And I'm wondering if this is part of the river that she was talking about. No, this is the Rio Lempa, the River Lempa. So that's what we're looking at right now. And there's another volcano right there. I'm wondering what country that's in. Is that in Honduras now? No, it's still in El Salvador. We're still over El Salvador right there. So Lempa, River Lempa. Tell us about the River Lempa in El Salvador. finds it. Spelled it correctly.
Searching for River Lempa, El Salvador.
I said river because if I say Rio, she'll think
The
I'm saying
Lempa River is a
R-E-A-L.
river in Central America that flows into the Pacific Ocean. It is one of the longest rivers in the region and the longest one in El Salvador. It originates in Guatemala near Esquipulas, crosses a corner of Honduras, and enters El Salvador at Satala. It has a length of 422 kilometers, 262 miles, and a basin area of 17,790 square kilometers, 6,870 square miles. The Lempa River is an important source of hydroelectricity, irrigation, and drinking water for El Salvador and other areas in the basin. It also supports various ecological and cultural values, such as biodiversity, fishing, tourism, and historical sites. The Lempa River is sometimes called the River of Peace because it unites the 3 countries that share its basin.
Can you tell us about the volcano that's just south of that river? That's what's good about AI, and we can continue a conversation.
Searching for volcano south of Lempa River.
That would be that there's a volcano.
There are several volcanoes that are south of the Lempa River, depending on how far south you mean. One of them is San Vicente, also known as Chicanapec, which is a stratovolcano that lies near the mouth of the river in El Salvador. It is the second highest volcano in the country, with an elevation of 2,182 meters, 7,159 feet. It has 2 craters that resemble a woman's bosom.
Okay,
It is a dormant volcano that last erupted around 1,700 years ago. It is a popular hiking destination that offers scenic views and hot springs.
South of that, isn't it?
Another volcano that is south of the Lempa River is Isalca, which is a cinder cone volcano that lies in the Cordillera de Apanica range in El Salvador. It is one of the youngest and most active volcanoes in Central America, having formed in 1770 and erupted almost continuously until 1958. It has an elevation of 1,952 meters, 6,404 feet, and a crater diameter of 250 meters, 820 feet. It is known as the Lighthouse of the Pacific because its frequent lava fountains were visible for miles at night. It is part of the Cerro Verde National Park, which also includes the Santa Ana and Cerro Verde volcanoes.
So that would be probably that volcano there to the left. Going as fast as I can on the drone, but we're still a little ways away from it. But that would be that volcano there, which is the youngest and the most active. So she was saying that it was first formed in the 1700s. That's interesting. It's a very young volcano. This drone is going as fast as it can. We're quite a distance there from that volcano, so I'm not sure if we're even going to reach it. We want to do that. Now I'm in whatever kind of mode there. Here we go. I think what I'm doing is I'm pressing the joystick right there. I'm pushing the left joystick on the Xbox controller, but when you press it down, it clicks it, and I think that's what turns it around, and that's what's throwing me off there. But here we are, that volcano. I can't remember the name that she named it, but I'll have a list, you know, I'll chapter it all on the video later on, and you can see the name of it. But this is a pretty active volcano. Fortunately, it's not very doesn't have a very large population center around it. Looks like a lot of farming communities and whatnot. But this is real-time weather. Did it again. I'm not good at controlling the Xbox controller. I have a tendency to hit buttons that I'm not supposed to hit, and consequently, you know, whenever, like when I'm playing football or baseball or something against my son with an Xbox, he beats me hand and foot because I'm just having problems with the controls. So there's the crater there. The crater in this volcano. And a lot of gnarly bad weather right now, so we're really not seeing much today. But there's the crater. And we're quite a distance now away from the plane. We'll go ahead and go back to the plane. Look at that, there's a little community down there. I like to explore. And why not? Whenever we have, you know, whenever it's talking about an hour away from our waypoint there, you have a little bit of time there. There is a community right there. And I'm going to see if I can find this on Google Maps. Go ahead, set right here and stop the drone there. Looks like some kind of farming community. Go back, layers, and then that volcano. There's the volcano. I think that's the volcano, and there we go. So this is CD Pacifica, El Salvador, San Miguel, El Salvador. And so we can see the volcano there. Is one of their views. Somebody's got 1,33355. I do that too. I take pictures of my odometer sometimes. There's a volcano. We're not going to play any videos today. And this is the city close by. Some of the people that live there. Alrighty, CD Pacifica. And the town is called San Miguel. Real quickly, we'll go ahead and look at about 5 pictures here. There's San Miguel, El Salvador. Probably not a bad town. I wouldn't think. Look at that volcano. Look at that picture. But this town right here would have some concerns if that volcano ever erupted. I would imagine that they would have some concerns about maybe evacuating and whatnot. And there's San Miguel. El Salvador. And we will now go back to our plane. San Miguel, I guess, would be right there. And of course, the volcano in the background. Take a picture of that if I can. And off we go. There's the volcano over there, I believe. San Miguel in that direction. Let's kind of take a look at where we are. We're still at 10,000 feet. And we are now 48 minutes. Well, that's really counting down quick. Look at that. I think the mathematics, because I did that drone, the mathematics are saying, hey, wait a minute, let's catch up here. It's just really counting down quick. I got a 26 knot headwind. 47, 46. Well, it's just, I think that, okay, now it's 46.29. I think the drone really threw that off. Had to have been the drone. And there's the volcano. was the name of that volcano again? It's our destination right here. San Miguel right there. And then the volcano, that's, okay, the San Miguel volcano? I'm not so sure if that's the one that she was talking about, was it? I listened, but I wasn't listening. That's the one that we looked at, though. Go ahead and try that again. Full speed. Yeah, that's too far away. Anyway, I was just gonna go there again just to make sure that was it. But that's it. San Miguel. This is real-time weather. This is not real-time time. over some of this area right here. Our destination being Tegucigalpa. Windy dirt roads along the hillsides down there. Probably some of those dangerous roads that you see on some of the documentaries. Hoping that we can get on the ground before sunset. sunset in Tegucigalpa is 6:21. So we have right now 6:03, I think it is. I started at 5. Anyway, it's going to be, it might be a night landing. I got to remember that the further south that you go, the sooner the sun sets. For example, in Alaska, the sun doesn't set until what, like around 10. The further north you go, the later the sun sets in the summertime. And here in Washington, it's after 9 when the sun sets. But the further south you go, like over in Louisiana where my brothers live, the sun sets earlier, around the 8 o'clock hour. And of course, the further south you go, whenever you go to Honduras, closer to the equator, the sun sets even earlier. They don't have the long days, of course, being closer to the equator. If you're at the equator, then it's 12 hours day and 12 hours night, pretty much like it would be for the equinox all year round, everything else. 12 hours day, 12 hours night at the equator. And the only time it's 12 hours day, 12 hours night everywhere else is the equinoxes, the spring and the fall equinoxes. Windy road down there. I do want these to be daylight flights. You know, I usually fly them at nighttime here or in the evening here, where in South America or Central America, definitely night. So I usually back up the time. Unless sometimes I do an afternoon flight when I'll do real-time weather, real-time time. But today I'm doing real-time weather, but backing up the time so that we can see and explore. I can actually back up the time on the fly. At any rate, we are getting pretty close here. Top of the set is actually 32 minutes. I wonder, let's go ahead and do a direct to Melvo. That might cut the time a little bit. So direct to Melvo it is. Activate that. So we're going to go ahead and go directly to Melvo. That cuts the time a little bit. We're going to be going 10,000 feet over these mountains here. And I'm assuming, you never assume whenever you fly in real life. You check everything out, especially when it talks about elevations, because you don't want to have a controlled flight in the terrain. But I'm assuming that none of those mountains are over 10,000 feet. we contacted approach and for flight following, we contacted Central America, but we haven't heard anything from them since. Looking at my multifunction display, map options, well, the next round isn't on. Well, we do have weather there, so that's why I wasn't seeing the weather, because I did have the next round on. We do have weather to deal with. It's all green though, so I think we should be okay. We might get into some IMC in the clouds there. IMC, of course, standing for Instrument Meteorological Conditions. It's like a canyon down there. Look at that canyon. Increasing my power there to about 2520. Kind of lagging a little bit there. And we have a good 28 knot headwind there. What I want to do real quick is I want to check again the ATIS. We picked up the ATIS way back there, but anyway.
Tonkinton Airport information, Oscar 0000 Zulu. Wind 001 at 10.
So yeah, still landing and departing runway 2.
Sky conditions.
And that's what we're set up. We're doing an RNAV approach.
Temperature 21. Dew point 10. Altimeter 30.09er. Visual runway 02 in use. Landing and departing runway 02. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact you have Oscar.
So we have Oscar. So we advise the controller on initial contact where we're coming from, and we have Oscar. Network of roads there. There's a small town right there. Thought it would be somewhere in this area right here. See, there's some roads. There's a small town, probably right there. So we are probably now just about crossing the El Salvador Honduras border. Got a plethora of clouds there ahead of us. We're going to be doing this circling around here. We're ahead of the clouds. Have to keep a real good eye on the terrain right there through the glass cockpit there. I'm going to go ahead and contact the runway now.
Central America Center, Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie, cancel flight following.
Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie, Central America Center cancellation received.
Go ahead and stop there, hit BFR and change it to 7000. And then we'll go ahead and contact the airport, which is Mike Hotel Tango Golf. Contact the tower. We already got the ATIS information.
Tonkinton Tower, Cessna November
Full
Charlie
stop
77
landing. We're
Charlie
about
Charlie
30
history 0 miles
still
west
away.
10,000 feet with Papa to land.
With Papa.
Cessna
Now we don't have Papa, we had Oscar, but anyway, still runway 2.
Enter right base runway 02.
Fly right base runway 02 Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie.
Hey. Now that's another thing with Microsoft Flight Simulator. I mean, I had Oscar, and then when I contacted the runway, it's my avatar said we had Papa, so just another little anomaly there. We are heading into weather. We have our vertical navigation loaded. We are now control 2, 16 minutes away from the top of the set, so we're going to go pretty much in that weather there, and a little over 15 minutes we're going to start our descent. Hoping that we have enough visibility there for the landing. RNAV approach. Looks like it has a step down procedure right here. All of these right here are step down procedures because of terrain, no doubt. And SkyVector doesn't have charts for this, but of course in real life the pilot would have charts for all of this, and minimums and whatever else, all the information that they need to make a safe landing. But we are relying on the autopilot, and we are depending on the autopilot. Now if you look at number 2 right here, the multifunction display, you see the TOD, there's the TOD, the top descent right there, which is about 12 minutes away. And then we'll be stepping down. I set the final altitude at 3,400 feet. Now what we're going to do though when we hit Melville is I'm going to hit approach. But apparently what we're going to do here, if we're going to hit Melville, we're going to circle right back around, and we're going to circle right here, doing all these step down procedures into the runway there. The runway, I believe. Well, anyway, we'll look at that. We'll figure it out whenever we actually do it. It is evening time. Very near the sunset, around 6:30, I believe, is what they said. What being said. .621 is the sunset. And the length of the day is 12 hours and 56 minutes. Started the flight at 5 o'clock. We have yellow. We have yellow now right around the airport there, so it could be very interesting. Let's see if we can do this. I'm not sure that the runway's lit up, but a couple of flights ago, I think it was in Mexico still, I landed using the visual approach with the Garmin G1000 with the glide path, and saw the PAPI lights, but I couldn't see the runway because the runway wasn't lit up. It was totally dark. Hopefully we'll get on the ground before it's totally dark. Overhead car light, you want that on so you can see better outside. Go ahead and turn up brightness on the lights there a little bit. Maybe turn down the avionics just a little bit. Very mountainous region around here. Again, the elevation of this runway that we are landing at is 3,307 feet. So in effect, we're at 10,000 feet now. We got about 7,000 feet to the runway. Now some of the elevation here is higher than that. as you can see, we might even get a 500 call on. I don't know. We're probably a little bit higher than that to the ground. Like we're pretty much in the clouds here. IMC, Instrument Meteorological Conditions. So we're going to depend quite a bit on our, not our visual references, but our flight display here. Still have a few video reference or visual references. "14 nautical miles from Melville." We are 8 minutes 20 seconds, 6 minutes to the top of the set. So far I haven't seen any thunder and lightning. Again, this is real-time weather, not real-time time. It's of course already dark over there. You see a little bit more civilization as we approach. So we're doing an RNAV approach. RNAV stands for Area Navigation Approach. And basically what it does is it uses the GPS for guidance. It doesn't have any radio signals. And ILS would be the radio signals, which ILS is more accurate. But now with the, of course, with the advent of GPS in this day and age, of course you use a GPS all the time for Google Maps or for, you know, the Magellan or whatever the GPS is that you can use for planes also use that, and that's what we're using right here. We got about 3 minutes to top of descent. There's the top of descent. And so the weather looks like it's scattered. It looks like some yellow though around still. It looks like it's somewhat scattered though, so we might not be too bad. We're just going to circle all around right here and do all of these fixes there while descending. Got the vertical path loaded, vertical navigation, so we should be descending automatically. I do believe now that the sun has set. Could very well be in the dark when we land. Welcome to Honduras. The Tancon Airport in Tegucigalpa. Tegucigalpa, which is the capital of Honduras. Okay, we should be sending here shortly. 1 minute and a half. We've got 26 knot headway still. We'll look at the wind there. 27 knots, so pretty hefty wind down here. Not sure what kind of wind we're going to have at the airport. A little bit lower elevation, but this is a higher elevation already. Seconds, 40 seconds. Position my nose. I like to have the nose just a little bit where you can see the nose for a reference point, but you're still kind of looking forward there. That seems to be the best spot for me. There's some people that have it like that. Some people have it like that. And I like to have just a little bit of the nose there. About like that. And I can go Control 2 to look at that. Control 1, we are 8 seconds. The vertical path is now active when we are now descending. Once we passed Melville, 2.5 nautical miles, I am going to go ahead and see if I can load my approach. Okay, we're going to go ahead and back off on our power a little bit. That propeller's spinning around, going downhill. 52 seconds to Melville. No other traffic at all around here, air traffic. Of course, then again, in real life, you're talking about It's after midnight there in real life. Okay, now we have reached Melbo, and then now we are descending again. We have a new, okay, the vertical path is loaded again. So we're going to maintain 9,000 feet until we step down. I'm going to see if I can load my approach. No, not yet. So we are doing all vertical guidance right now. As far as for our elevation, we have lateral guidance, of course, going on GPS here. Pushing against that wind, we're just driving right into it. Pretty soon we're going to have the wind to our back. Go ahead and zoom this in just a little bit here. Now our next top of descent, we're going to start descending again in about 1 minute. You see the elevation of all the mountains, and that's the reason why this step down procedure is being used. You know, back in the old days, it was the flight engineer that would tell the pilots, and they, of course, you know, they had autopilot as far as using a vertical or V-speed flight level change. Not so much vertical navigation. It was, now what we're having is computer guidance down. Okay, so now the vertical path is loaded again. We are now descending to 8,000 feet, and then 7,000 and 67 and so on. So I'm really having to monitor the power there whenever we start descending. Of course, it's like rolling down the hill in your car, bicycle or motorcycle or whatever. Using the area navigation RNAV approach. Again, back off on the power. Spinning that propeller too fast. So we are at 8,000 feet now. Next waypoint right here. We're 8,100 feet. vertical path is active. I believe that we're just going to continue going down. That is the direction of the runway. Got my pressing my runway button on my yoke there. There's a runway camera that you can press whenever you're close to the runway. It kind of keeps an eye, you know, you can, instead of having to fish around for it, you can actually just press the button and look at the runway. It's really convenient. We have a BOD right there, a bottom of descent, and we'll probably maintain 7,000 for a little bit until we get to our final approach phase. Well, maybe not, because your final approach phase is right there. Again, I'm going to go ahead and hit approach. No, not yet. Approach. Approach we can't hit yet. Alright, now we are, the vertical path is once again loaded, as you can see. We sustain an altitude of 7,000 feet until we hit this TOD, which will bring us down to our next final approach phase. I've never done these many steps on the way to a runway using the RNAV area navigation. It is dark out there. Okay, vertical path is now active again. We're descending again. See right here, I mean, you can't really see anything there, but you still have a good visual reference right there. And it is now starting to rain. Approach again on that. Still don't have the light out. I don't know if maybe we'll hit that after our last one here. Dropping quite a bit there. We do have a 20 knot side wind right now. I am really starting to rush there. So our next altitude will be 55.99 and then 41.44. So we got TOG 010 will be our last fix.
Charlie, wind 022.
Cleared to land.
Cleared to land, runway 02.
I don't see any runway lights yet.
Cleared to land runway 02 Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie.
approach. Nothing yet on the approach. Okay, there's a runway ahead of us. Straight ahead. Now I am not able to use my approach button yet. I'm just using the vertical path and of course the guidance that we have on the GPS. Well, that can't be the runway. That's not the runway. That is. Because we are going to be turning to the side here. Runway is in that direction. Interesting how this is all set up. I have been cleared to land. I'm starting to slow down now. Perhaps whenever we hit that last waypoint, I don't know. It's just, I've never seen an RNAV like this before. But we do have the vertical guidance up to 3,400 feet. And that's what I did with the Togo or TG1010 right there, 3398. Got a freeway underneath us there. Boy, it looks like we are just about on the ground already. $3,400 feet in about 10,000 or 1,000 plus 1,000. I think I'm gonna fly by hand because
500.
full flaps. Bring it to the glide speed. Look how close I am. There's the runway. I can see the four pappy lights that are white. It is lit up tonight, so that's good. Now we're up here, putting a little more mixture. I'm not putting full rich, because we're at 3,300 feet. But there's 3,400 feet. It's scaring me. I don't know why. Look at this. Pull up the. I am now flying by hand. The autopilot engaged again. Around that, I didn't want to. It looks like I was pretty close to that hill. There's a tree there. Well, this is really interesting. So anyway, I am now gonna. Boy, that tree is right there. Aim for that 1,000-foot marker there. Go ahead and get a little more power there. Idle, and we'll go ahead and set her down. Welcome to Honduras, ladies and gentlemen. Right around the 1,000-foot marker there. I think
Cessna 7 Charlie
5.
turn next
That
taxiway.
brings my flaps back up. And we have arrived. Boy, what an interesting landing that was. That was very interesting. And then the time too, I should have said it, I don't know, it was pretty interesting though, landing at
Cessna
night.
7 Charlie contact ground on 121.9.
So we'll go ahead. This is a pretty big airport here in Knowledge Ground.
121.9 for Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie.
Ground, and then we'll taxi to park.
Ground Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie request taxi to parking.
Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie taxi to general aviation parking via taxiway Alpha cross runway 02 Bravo.
Okay.
Taxiing to general aviation parking using taxiway Alpha cross runway 02 Bravo Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie.
So that was fun. That was interesting, but that last waypoint just had me so close to the ground. I was just curious because Again, the elevation was, what was it, 3,300? I'll check it out here in a minute. I should write these things down. But it is nighttime here over in Honduras. We are in Tegucigalpa, the capital of Honduras. And we'll go ahead and we can look at some pictures there toward the end and call it a night. Very hilly and mountainous region around here. I do believe that this is like over in El Salvador. I do believe closer to the ocean where it's a little bit more flat. There is another runway, or airport I should say, international airport. Wow. Get off the grass there, dude. Looking off of there and seeing those light poles or whatever that is, a perimeter fence. That's the fence. There's our guys waiting for us. Oh, gotta watch that fence. Boy, it's interesting that those arrows bring me so close to the fence. So the RNAV brought me so close to the hills, and now those arrows are bringing me so close to that fence. All kinds of bullets to dodge tonight. So anyway, that was fun. That was interesting. Looks like that fence has razor wire on the top. Okay, this way. Right, that way. Okay. And the nice thing about this runway, though, is how lit up it is. Good job, Microsoft. And, you know, there's a lot of runways that just aren't lit up, but this one is. And I can see, and yeah, I like that. So anyway, we'll go ahead and put on our cabin lights again. Roll off, and then all of a sudden you're rolling up. Okay. Just have to get my hand off the mouse whenever I do the rolling here. So anyway, we are going to go ahead and engage them. We'll go ahead and shut off all the lights there. And go ahead and shut the key off. That guy, he just took off in a hurry. And then we'll go ahead and take the fuel off, acknowledge that. Turn that off, turn that off, turn that off, turn that off. And then turn on the flashlight. Okay, so we got the flashlight, we can see now. And I just wanted to real quickly look at where we are on Google Maps. We are in Tegucigalpa. Now, usually I can take a look around with the airplane, and we can look around whenever we take off during the day, but right now we can just look around. Since it's nighttime, we're not going to really see very much. We can still look around a little bit. We got some lights, but this is it. This is the capital of Honduras, and you can see all those mountains, and the reason why we had that step down procedure there to that runway. So very interesting, very interesting. All the mountainous region there, and there's a church. All these mountains. That was actually kind of fun. I was concerned that we would hit a hill before we got down, and I never did have. This was one RNAV approach where I could not hit the approach button. And usually the approach button uses lateral and vertical guidance, but I did have the lateral guidance, going around those curves, and then of course the vertical guidance using the vertical navigation all the way down to 3,400 feet. So yeah, that was very interesting. And so here we are. This is Tegucigalpa, Honduras. Welcome to Honduras. And we'll go ahead and go full screen one more time. Go into the drone, probably be all askew. Yep. So we'll straighten out the drone, bring it out to where we are, and we'll go ahead and take a look around. This is the airport that we landed at. And those are all the mountains right there. And of course the gnarly weather too. But those are the mountains that we are, the hillsides that we had to navigate around. So no airplane activity now. Of course in real life it's after midnight. So, but that was a fun flight. I hope you enjoyed it. And welcome to Honduras. The next flight, whenever we fly down to Nicaragua, we'll be able to take a look at this city during the day. Of course, this is non-photogrammetry, but a lot of the building shapes are true to form, true to life. So, all right. Have a good evening, everyone.